Now, most businesses have like one or maybe two ways of actually making money. But every time you buy a piece of real estate, you make money in so many different ways. And today, I'm going to show you my 4 favorite ways of making money in real estate that you probably didn't know about. Everyone wants to be an insta-millionaire, right? Especially in the game of real estate. But they all forget to start by studying the fundamentals. So today I'm going to share with you my 4 favorite ways to make money in real estate, and they're known as the profit centers of real estate. Now, if you want to make a pile of money in the game of real estate, then you have to understand the profit centers, or in other words, the different ways of actually making money in the game of real estate. And by the way, understanding these profit centers is key on the road to financial freedom, especially in the real estate space. Those of you who are sick and tired of working for someone else need to understand all the different ways that real estate can actually make money in order for you to leave your traditional 9-to-5 job. If you're able to do that, you're going to step into what I call instant equity, or better yet, discount equity. Now, I've bought a few properties in my day, but I want you to understand this. The most important property that I ever bought was the first property that I ever bought. All right, take this in. The first house that I ever bought had a value of approximately $325,000, but I purchased this house for $290,000. So if you take 325 minus 290, or in other words, the value of the property versus what I actually paid, there's a difference of $35,000. That means literally when I bought the home, I became, at least on paper, $35,000 richer. Now, the magic little real estate fairies didn't come along and put $35,000 into my bank account, no. But a year later, I was able to take some of the money out of this house by restructuring or refinancing the loan. And guess how I bought my next house? I used my first house to buy my next house. See, you need to understand that this discount equity, it can mean a great deal to your financial future. And by simply understanding this one principle alone, you will be well on your way to generational wealth and early retirement. Now, the second way of making money in real estate is one you've probably heard of. This profit center is known as cash flow. Now, the cool thing about cash flow is when you buy real estate right, this can now be money you get in your pocket each and every month. Cash flow is the difference between your mortgage payments, your expenses, and your tenant's rent. Quick illustration here. So I got this house and the tenant gives me money. We call that money rent. And then I've got leftover money every single month after I pay for my mortgage and my expenses. You know, here might be an easier way for you to understand cash flow. When I look at a property, there's money that comes in each and every month because I rent the place, I own it, and the tenant pays me. But guess what? I don't get to keep all of that money. Some of that money has to go back out in the form of expenses. For example, I have to pay the bank because they gave me a loan and I have a mortgage on the property. I also have utilities like gas, water, and hydro. Oh, and don't remind me, I gotta pay the city for all the functions they perform and everything that's covered under the property taxes. You know, I might also have to make repairs on, you know what? I definitely will have to make repairs on the property. I mean, the dishwasher, the sink, anything could break and I could have my handyman go out there and go ahead and fix it up. And of course, the property's not always gonna be rented. There's gonna be some times where it's not rented. And those times are what we call vacancy. So after I take all the expenses and subtract them from my income or the rents, I'm gonna have some money left over. And the money that's left over is what we call cash flow. Hey, you guys liking the video? Because I'm loving it. And you're going to love this third profit center known as appreciation. This profit center is one of my favorites and I'm going to explain to you guys why. Now, when I say appreciation, I don't mean like, oh, Isaiah, I appreciate these videos. You're so smart. That's why I'm a loyal subscriber. No, that's not what I mean. This appreciation is one of the profit centers of real estate, and it has a huge impact on how much money you can actually make, because appreciation is the rise in a property's value over time. You have to understand that real estate is an asset, and assets tend to appreciate or go up in value over time. So the more or longer you own an asset, the more it's going to go up. Things like the location, the market, condition, neighborhood, all of these things factor into the overall value of that property, especially over time. Now here, this is the cool part. Since 1965, we've tracked what has happened with the value of real estate. And if you were to graph, you would see that the value of real estate has been going up, up, up consistently. Now again, there's some ups and downs, but nothing for major concern. Since like 1965, they've tracked the appreciation, and it ends up being anywhere between 3 and 5% a year, depending on where you're located. Now let me give you an example of what this looks like on a $200,000 house. This house is gonna go up, let's say 3 to 5% a year. Now for this example, let's round up to 5% because we're all great investors and we invest in superior markets where we get the most appreciation possible. Am I right? So what's 5% of $200,000? Well, you could pull out your calculator or your Excel spreadsheet and you simply do $200,000 times 0.05 and it would tell you that that's $10,000. And what this is really saying is if you buy a property today, next year it's going to be worth on average about $10,000 more. So what if you held this home for like 5 years? Well, there's 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus another 10,000. That's $50,000. Oh, and by the way, that's only simple math. It actually compounds and becomes exponential. So your growth is actually way bigger than that of just the initial $50,000. But can you imagine the impact that only one average home can have on your financial future? Even if you don't factor in cash flow or equity, appreciation alone is going to bring your financial future into a place you had no idea you could reach. Now imagine that you're making $10,000 a year or $50,000 over 5 years on every single family home. What would happen if you owned 10 single family homes? Well, instead of $50,000 in 5 years, 10 homes would give you 10 times that. That's $500,000. In other words, by just owning real estate, not even factoring in cash flow, after just 5 years, you're gonna be worth $500,000 more. I'm telling you, that's crazy. I don't see any RSP doing that kind of returns. And what about after 10 years? We're talking a full $1 million of growth just because of owning real estate. By the way, do you know what most people's biggest financial regret is when it comes to retirement? They look at the home they bought and see how much it's gone up in value, and then they think to themselves, damn, I made $200,000 on this home. What if I had just bought 5 more homes? I'd be a millionaire. What if I bought 20 homes? I'd be a millionaire, you'd be a millionaire, my wife would be a millionaire, I'd be living with millionaires. Now, if the first 3 profit centers weren't good enough for you, I understand. But let me hit you with one of the final profit centers of real estate. This profit center is what I like to call tax benefits. But let me start out by saying I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer. This is neither tax or legal advice. Go ahead, find yourself a CPA to help you out with this one here. Here's an example of tax benefits. Did you know that homeowners can actually deduct their mortgage interest from their taxes? Yeah, I know. Literally, as an investment property owner, you can write off 100% of that mortgage interest. And this is a big deal, by the way, because when you pay for a mortgage, very little goes to the actual principal, and most of it goes to the interest portion, especially in the first 15 years of actually owning that property. Well, as a real estate investor, you get to write all of that off. And here's what that actually means. It means that in real life, you're putting money into your pocket each and every month. You're making actual money, but on paper, it looks like you're losing money. And at the end of the day, the more real estate you own, you actually collect these big losses on paper, but you're still actually making money realistically. That sound a little criminal, weird, or maybe even a little bit strange? Maybe, but let me tell you this, it's 100% legal when done properly with a professional accountant. And guys, this is only one simple tax benefit of investing in real estate. I'll be honest, there's several other tax benefits. Obviously, there's one that we just talked about with the tax deductions, but did you know you can also write off your home equity loans? That's right, if you're using your home's equity to buy more real estate, then guess what? You get to write all of that interest off. You can also write off home improvements, and for all you house hackers and live-in flippers out there, did you know that if you live in a property for a certain length of time, you don't have to pay taxes on the appreciation gains that you made? I know, guys, it's some crazy stuff, and we're just scratching the surface in terms of tax benefits. But again, this is why real estate is one of the best asset classes ever. All of these tax benefits are designed to make real estate the single best investment ever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. By the way, if you liked watching this video about making money in the game of real estate, why don't you share this video with your best buddy? Because hey, maybe they want to learn about it too. And who knows, maybe one day we could all get together, start putting together some deals, and before you know it, all of us can be enjoying the 4 major profit centers of investing in real estate. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to the channel using that big red subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up too, because well, hey, you liked the video. Oh, and before you go grab a copy of my free ebook, The Rookie Real Estate Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. For First Position Real Estate, my name's Isaiah Henry, and as always, I help government employees build wealth and retire early with real estate. Take care, guys, and have a great day.